Welcome to the 5 reasons why real estate is the perfect career. Now, number 1, my favorite, ultimately the most popular, the thing that drives most people to consider a real estate career over anything else, the money, the unlimited income potential. So there's not many jobs, careers, opportunities that are available where the sky is the limit and you truly have unlimited potential. The way this works, if you're a licensed real estate professional, you're certified by the state to assist people in transactions, to be able to guide them through it, to get them connected to the right people. You're not doing everything. There's title companies, sometimes even real estate attorneys, lenders, appraisers, inspectors, all these different parties involved, and you're really the CEO of the transaction. And a CEO is the one who gets the big payday, but the CEO is also who's known for keeping everything together, which that's what you really do as a real estate agent. And the more deals you could not just put together, but keep together, the more dollar signs you could stack up. I mean, throw some little dollar signs in there. You could really stack up a lot of money because the commissions that you're earning, they're a percentage of the transaction. And let's say you're only selling a $100,000 property, 3%, that's $3,000. But what if that's $1 million property? If that's $1 million property, that's going to be 10 times as much. That's no longer a $3,000 commission, that's a $30,000 commission. What if it's a $2 million property? Well, that's a $60,000 commission at 3%. $3 million, well, that's $90,000 at 3%. And if you really want to get your mind blown, go watch some of these $1 million listing TV shows and you could see the different price points of some properties. And we've got multi-million-dollar waterfront luxury real estate, which is where you could make a gigantic commission. Imagine what a $10 million property with that 3% commission. That would be $300,000. But maybe you cut them a deal and you do it for 2.5%. You could negotiate commission. Commission is always negotiable. You do it for 2.5%, well, $250,000. $50,000, yeah, that's a big savings. Even if you're doing it for 2%, that's still $200,000 in one transaction. And again, getting back to the unlimited side of this here is where you could really stack. And now, yes, there is going to be some sort of limit that you'll hit. And maybe you could optimize yourself a little bit more, but there's only so many deals that you can personally do. But no one says you got to do this alone. Matter of fact, the highest earners in real estate are not doing it alone. They either have a real estate team or their own real estate brokerage. So there's multiple opportunities to go beyond just yourself, and that's what really creates such significant potential and opportunities. You find out and learn what you're doing, and you're ready now to help the new generation of real estate figure out what they're doing, while being able to help yourself in the process by providing the platform and sell more properties than ever through others. So it's a magnificent system and something that is really thrilling to be a part of. I don't know, is that too cheesy sounding? But that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. So let's get to number 2. Number 1 is all the money that can be made. Number 2 is flexibility. Maybe you want to work full-time. Maybe you want to do real estate part-time. That's how a lot of people start, myself included. Maybe you want to do remote, cloud-based. And you think about it, that term independent. Everybody wants to be independent. And that's one of the things that real estate allows. Typically, in most cases, you're going to be an independent contractor, and that independence is what really creates the flexibility, because who is the boss? That's you. In an independent contractor situation, you're your own business. Now, the way it works in real estate is you start off as a sales associate. And so as a sales associate, you're not necessarily able to practice real estate independently and on your own. But as a sales associate, you could still run your own real estate business under the supervision of a real estate broker. And at that brokerage, you're an independent contractor. So when you work, how much you work, that's at your discretion. Now, ultimately, your broker is going to layer on top of the actual state laws and rules, additional policies for how business is conducted at that brokerage. But that's why there's so many different brokerage options that are out there, is there's not just in the way that they conduct business, but also the platform. What type of tools? Is there marketing? Is there leads? Is there training? And based on your business plan, on what you're trying to achieve in real estate and also what your background is. If you've got sales background, management background, customer service background, any type of things like that, it's going to give you an advantage. But is that necessary to get started? No. As a matter of fact, we actually have people that are coming straight out of high school, wherever you're at, whether you're fresh out of high school or you've been retired for 20 years and you want to do something that you could do as much or as little as you want. Remote, full-time, part-time, in-person, as an independent contractor, or you could find some sort of W-2 type of job there. And now what this also provides for is your schedule flexibility. And that is something that's decided by you. You are the one booking the appointments with your clients to show properties, to go on listings, to hold open houses, to do all these different things. You are the one that decides when you want to make calls, when you want to send emails, when you want to work on the things it is that you need to work on to move your business forward. And, maybe it's not about making the most amount of money in the world, but it's about you providing the best service and doing it the most efficiently so you could have that work-life balance of maybe only having to work 8 or 12 hours a week and making more money than you made working 40 hours a week. Maybe that's what you're after. Especially with the powers of automation and AI and hiring an assistant and having leads generated for you. And there's so many things it is that you could do to where you could shape the career of your future. Now, think of yourself as the CEO of your real estate business. And yes, you absolutely can do everything yourself, and that's usually what you start out with. You're doing everything yourself, taking all the phone calls, looking up all the properties, preparing all the contracts, doing all the marketing. But there's no reason that needs to continue being you, especially when you go sell a $300,000 property and you get a $10,000 commission if it's at 3%. What are you going to do with that $10,000? You could reinvest that in your business. You could double down and build a system that works for you to where you're not necessarily the one that has to do everything in your business, that you could have an assistant, that you'd have someone to answer the phones, that you could have a team of people, even if you're the only real estate agent. There's a lot of single agents that are out there operating as just a one single solo agent at a brokerage, but they might have a transaction coordinator to help make sure all their contracts make it to closing. They might have a receptionist or an answering service or some way to make sure the phone calls are always answered, even when you're out on appointments, out doing showings, out mingling, making new connections, whatever that may be. But how you build that real estate business really is up to you. So it gives you immense flexibility in terms of what you want to do to be able to make it work and really develop that work-life balance that you might be after. So number 3 we've got is the demand. The demand for real estate professionals. And this is what is significantly underestimated because the population growth in Florida looks a little something like this on a graph. And it actually has sped up recently in recent years. And so as long as we continue to have a net influx of people moving to Florida, that's going to continue to drive the demand for real estate. It's not just people moving to Florida to retire. Yes, that is a big part of the people moving to Florida. That is a constant influx of people moving to Florida to retire. But what really accelerated this recently was things like remote work, was things like people wanting to move here because of tax advantages, because of policies, because of whatever it might be. And so that increase in demand creates more people here. More people here means more jobs because we need more barbers to cut hair. We need more clerks at the grocery store. With the population continuing to grow, there's new jobs being created to have restaurants. And I guess it's like a whole viral ripple effect of all these different service industries that are here to support when you have new different industries that are coming into Florida. Whenever there's some sort of new corporate headquarters relocating into Florida, into Tampa, there's been quite a few of them over the years, that continues to push and grow. And then road projects come in and that puts more money in here. And even when we get ravaged by hurricanes, here comes the insurance money that influxes in. as long as people want to live in Florida, it's going to continue to create demand. It's going to continue to create opportunities, and there's going to continue to be tons of money on the table for people that could solve other people's problems. Need a place to live? I could solve that problem for you. Not just in finding it, because we all have access to Zillow.com, so of course you could go find a house on your own, but navigating the process, navigating the lenders, navigating the title companies, navigating the attorneys, navigating the title process, navigating the entire real estate process, start to finish, to make sure that you're making the best move for you and your family, for you and your business, for you and your investing partners, for whoever may be attached to this property, to you and your future. And your future is propelled by everyone else's future. And that's what's so rewarding about real estate, is because as you're able to help people and you're able to provide a service that truly does solve their problems and truly does make their life easier because of your presence in the transaction, that's what is going to increase your specific demand, the demand for you. Because people will become your fans, people will refer you, people will recommend you. People will write reviews and testimonials about you. People will adore you if you really do this job correctly. And so it could be really rewarding. And the more rewarding it is, the more rewarding it will be financially to you, especially if you're following up with your past clients. Even if it's not somebody you've done business with, but it's just somebody you talk to once a month, and at least once a month, you're reminding them that you're a real estate professional and you could help them with their real estate services, and also soliciting referrals from that person. But here's the secret. A real estate transaction doesn't just happen by itself. This is a complex process. There's a lot of different people, a lot of different parties that are involved in bringing this all together. And it's the personalized service that we could provide as it relates to advising and planning the future of this property, planning the exit strategy. That's something that's a very common idea to an investor, is how will you exit this property? But to your everyday home buyer, home seller, how they exit the property, that's a little bit more of a mystery, if it's even something they're thinking about at all. So there's always going to be a demand for knowledgeable professionals, a trustworthy, knowledgeable professional, somebody that, they could shake your hand, look you in the eye, and know that this person is taking care of their needs. There will always be a demand for those type of people in really all fields. I know many people who got their real estate license and don't practice real estate, but maintain their real estate license as almost like a parachute that they've got on. So if they realize that that plane that they've enjoyed riding on all these years is going down, that they're not struggling and scrambling to find a parachute. They've already got one. They've had it on their back for years. That's what having a real estate license, even if you're not necessarily using it, that's the benefit, that peace of mind that it can provide to you. And that's why a lot of people do have a real estate license and aren't necessarily using it, is because they are doing other things. But why do they maintain the license? Well, because they worked hard to achieve it. And it'd be stupid really to lose it for the work that you put in to achieve it, even if this can be done in 30 days. We've got some people still signing up for the new year, new career challenge, trying to get this done by the end of the year. So we've got like 20 days or so left before the end of the year. That's still possible. You're coming up on a record time now, but it's 100% possible to get the license that quickly. And even if you don't have it by January 1st, what difference does it make if it's January 15th or January 30th? Just get it done. Get it started, get going, and get to that next stage, to that next step. Getting the real estate license is just the beginning. That's where the real fun begins. So let's talk about number 4, diverse opportunities. Now, the most common opportunity is as a residential realtor. And beyond just being a realtor or residential real estate agent, there's many different opportunities. There's actually 5 different types of real estate. You have residential, of course, but you also have commercial, which is going to include strip mall plazas, shopping mall type of deals, but it also includes multi-unit apartment buildings, apartment complexes, apartment communities. Anytime you're dealing with 5 units or more, that's a commercial deal. So you've got commercial real estate, your residential real estate, of course. You've got industrial, so warehouses, manufacturing facilities, mining for resources. Earlier I mentioned doing easements for utility. I would factor that in under industrial. You also have agricultural. There's a lot of agricultural property here in Florida. Ocala specifically, Ocala is actually world renowned for the horse country. So there's a lot of agricultural real estate, whether it be horse ranching. There's ranches throughout Florida. There's all kinds of farms, strawberries, oranges in Florida. Florida oranges, I feel like, are making a little bit of a comeback, slowly but surely. There's a lot of agriculture that is here in Florida. And that land gets transferred, gets sold. So there's agricultural real estate. There's also businesses and business opportunities. Businesses in Florida, even if it's an online business, it's considered real estate and you do need a real estate license. So business brokerage is a much more specialized type of real estate because it's now involving a lot more accounting, a lot more details, a lot more business knowledge than, say, somebody that's buying their first home. That's a much more emotional purchase, whereas the more investment and all these other categories really are going to be a lot more technical. And beyond that, if we really kind of zoom in specifically just on residential, other than just being a real estate agent, we could talk about property management opportunities. We could talk about working for home builders. Now, if you're a broker or an agent at a brokerage, you could still sell new construction properties. But these new construction home communities that have model homes typically will also employ their own sales agents. And they could legally hire somebody who doesn't have a license, but the catch is they cannot pay them any commission, any bonuses, or any compensation whatsoever that could be tied back to sales. And so that creates a very small, limited opportunity in that sense. But if you have a real estate license and you want to work for that developer, now all of a sudden you can actually make a commission. And now the commission that you make as an independent agent selling for that builder, typically in my experience, it's been higher than what you would make working specifically for that builder, but maybe working with that builder includes salary or benefits or other things like that that you may be interested in. The one catch, though, is if you work for a builder, you could only sell for that builder and sell those builders' homes. Whereas if you're an agent, an independent agent at a brokerage, you could broker transactions between any parties in Florida. Any buyer, any seller, whether that seller is just a private single-family home seller just selling a property that was built 100 years ago, or a new construction home builder that sells thousands of properties every year. Any one of them could be the seller. Any one of them can pay you a commission with the right agreements. And you learn the basics of contracts in your pre-licensing. You learn a little bit more of the people skills and the finesse of it in terms of presenting offers to clients in your post-licensing course. And then one of the benefits of joining the Association of Realtors, if you are going to be practicing residential real estate, is that there is a lot of training on those contracts that they provide on the MLS system. And there's a lot of other tools like that that are going to be available for if you're practicing real estate. Now, there's also referral brokerages out there, so if you're one of those people that aren't actively using your real estate license, I would highly encourage you to activate with a referral brokerage because those are going to be very minimal fee if they have any sort of fee to join it whatsoever. And all you're having to pay, basically, if there's not some sort of annual fee for it or initiation fee or whatever type of fee, and this might just be like a $50 or $100 type of thing to get yourself activated with that company. And then there's just a split of whatever referral fees that you bring in. They're maybe getting 15, 20% of the referral fee, and you get the rest of it. And you could refer to other states, to other countries, or right here in your own backyard. Anytime, any place, anywhere, as long as you're not violating some other countries that I've never found anybody, no other country or state that says you can't have a referral fee paid back to a broker here in Florida. As far as I know, that doesn't exist. Prove me wrong in the comments if anyone has found any place where you're not allowed to have a referral fee. But otherwise, referral fees are pretty much anything goes. Anything that could be negotiated goes. As long as you have an active license here in Florida, because if you don't have an active real estate license, that's where you could get yourself in trouble. That's where you could go to jail potentially for up to 5 years if you don't have an active real estate license for any sort of real estate compensation, whether that's a referral fee or that is, you know, somebody giving you a gift basket because you know a few things about Zillow and you help somebody set it up. Well, now you go to jail for 5 years because you effectively have earned compensation, even in the form of a gift basket. Would definitely be a little bit more laughable, but could they do it? The law says so. So get the license so that way you don't have to worry about whether or not you're doing anything legal or illegal. That's a big part of what you learn about in pre-licensing is what you legally can do. And so when you know what you legally can do, it gives you a lot better understanding of the law and how to navigate effectively so that you could really have the most successful real estate career possible. So we talked about the different career opportunities, and last but not least is to be your own boss. To be your own boss. Right there with unlimited income potential is one of the other top reasons, because this is what really makes all these other things possible. For you being able to choose where you want to use your real estate license, all the different opportunities it opens up to you. Especially those opportunities where you're at an independent brokerage type of deal and you get to do your own thing. You really truly do get to be your own boss, even just as a sales associate. And when you're ready to take it to the next step, all you need is 2 years of active experience to be eligible for the broker license. Then you just take the broker course, do the broker exam, very similar to getting your initial sales associate license. But the key thing is having that 2 years of experience to be able to level up to where you now are a broker. You could stay with your current broker as a broker associate, or you could go out and open your own brokerage whenever you would like. And that's really the ultimate level of truly, fully, 100% owning that being your own boss. But the thing is, when you're brand new, even if you've done real estate before, you wouldn't want to be 100% on your own when you're starting out here in Florida. You're looking for that support system, that ideal support system to help incubate your real estate business, and that's what your real estate brokerage is. Maybe that's a brokerage that you stay at for life. I'm sure the brokerage would want that, of course. Or maybe it's just a stepping stone to the next bigger and better thing for you. Whether that leads to you maybe just joining a different brokerage or you starting your own team, or again, once you've got that 2 years of experience, you go on and actually start your own brokerage. So being your own boss, again, that's one of the most exciting because, again, it gives you all that choice, that freedom, that opportunity, the ability to be in control as well. So everything that you're doing, you know why that you're doing it. You know it's not just things it is that you're being told and you don't understand how it translates, and maybe it doesn't even translate to an effective customer experience. I've seen that before. I've been in corporate America before real estate, so I understand how disconnected the top can be and some weird policies that don't make any sort of sense. The good news is, aside from what the Florida Real Estate Commission requires and what your broker requires, you get to make your own policies. You get to make your own rules. You get to be your own boss. And that unlocks your schedule. That allows you to work when you want, how you want, remotely, in person, at Starbucks, in your living room, at your den, in your car, wherever. Usually the one requirement is having a decent internet connection. But you check that box and now you could work almost anywhere. You want to sit at the beach, you could do that. Matter of fact, I've seen multiple social media stories, posts, etc., about agents, drafting up some sort of contract at the beach. And you might say, well, why would you want to work on your vacation? Well, if you've got $15,000, $20,000 that could come in if you just send out an email in 10 minutes, maybe you want to send that email in that 10 minutes while you're on vacation, so you could come home to a $20,000 commission check or whatever it might be. Or you make the executive decision to delegate that to somebody while you're away on vacation. Or you make the executive decision to not work with certain people if you don't want to work with somebody that you've had a bad experience with, or somebody who isn't qualified to be able to work through the process. Now, of course, you learn about fair housing and all of that stuff in your pre-licensing, so that way you can make sure everything it is that you're doing is legal and you're not violating any laws or doing any sort of illegal discrimination. But when it comes to your business, it is your business and you get to make the decisions. Outside of, again, what the law and the Florida Real Estate Commission says and what your broker says, You get to make all the other decisions. And that's where, if you've ever thought, if I was in control, I could run things so much better here. Now, you might have to learn some things about real estate, and that's what we're here to help you with. But we could put you in the driver's seat. There's a great expression that I heard once that says, if you want to be successful, you have to be in the right vehicle. And that doesn't mean that you got to go outside driving a Cadillac to impress people. That's not at all what this means. But if you want to be successful, you need to be in the right career vehicle, the right business vehicle, the right direction that you're heading to. The vehicle that I was in before real estate was a 180-person, can't even call it a bus, we'll call it a ship, because that for 180,000 people, that's a massive ship. That's like an escape Earth because of some sort of disaster type of ship. That's how many people. And I was nowhere near the driver's seat. Matter of fact, I didn't even know where the driver was. Never met the driver. Driver was replaced during my tenure at this company, and I never met either one of them. Actually, I think I'm friends on Facebook with the former one. But regardless, if that ship is going down, no matter what you do, if the other 179,999 other people are not doing the right thing, that ship's going to continue to go down. And so that is not the right vehicle. That was not the right vehicle for me. I was like, I got to get out of this. And so I joined a brokerage that maybe had 50, 60 agents when I got started. Much smaller vehicle. Now we're talking about a bus. And this bus actually did have some training programs. It wasn't necessarily the right step for me as a new agent, but that's one of the mistakes that I made when I started my real estate career that you don't have to make, because taking your post-licensing course is where you could build a business plan to help ensure that you're choosing the right brokerage for your career. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you are the boss. You are the boss of your business, and you choose which brokerage gets the privilege of being able to do business with you, of being able to have you represent their brand. And again, when you're ready to really truly have your own 100% unique, authentic brand, or buy into a franchise, if you want to, just do one of the franchise models like a Keller Williams, Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Remax, any of those big names, those are all franchises. So you could go buy one of those franchises, get some sort of territory, open up an office, or you could go start your own independent real estate brokerage. You see so many of those today. It could just be you. It could be just a handful of people, or you could grow it to one of the biggest real estate brokerages in the world. That's up to you. What your future holds is up to you. It's not a question of if you could do it. It's a question of how. It's a question of how long it's going to take. It's a question of how am I going to do it? It's a question of how am I going to find people to help me? Well, the good news is you're already looking at one right now. You can go watch all our other past videos talking all about starting a real estate career, but the best thing you could really do is take that first step to get started, to sign up for a pre-licensing course if you're brand new to real estate. If you don't have a real estate license yet, the first thing you need to do is get the real estate license, and that's what you do with the pre-licensing course. You can do this in person, you can do it live online. We've got a video on demand class, and we also have a text-based online class. So no other school has more options to get a real estate license. So whatever method is going to be best for you, if you're not sure, call in to a Speak with an Advisor, 813-333-2676, or you can find out more information right online at tsre.us. That's tsre.us. And again, the phone number, 813-333-2676. Check out the content that we've got online, because we've got so many videos, blog posts, calculators, all designed to help you better understand a real estate career and help you achieve your dream real estate career. So any way we can help you, reach out to us. But the biggest way you can help yourself is getting enrolled and getting signed up if you haven't done that yet. Take the leap of faith, take the plunge, take the jump, and make it happen. Get in there and go power through it nonstop, or if you don't have time for that, little by little, every single day. And that usually is going to be the more effective option for most people. Little by little, day by day, make it happen. The consistency can be extremely powerful over the long run. You need any help with that? Any assistance? Any help understanding, making the right choice, finding what course is the best one for you, understanding more about a real estate career? Again, our advisors, 813-333-2676, or find all the information you could possibly ever want to find at tampaschoolofrealestate.com. It's about all the time we've got for today, so thank you again for tuning into today's episode. I hope you found these top 5 reasons why students choose a real estate career to build their perfect career. I hope you found this effective and beneficial and this information useful for you understanding better what a real estate career is and how you could really build it into your own perfect career. And again, if you want to become one of our success stories, tampaschoolofrealestate.com, or call into us at 813-333-2676. That's about all the time we've got for today. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you on Friday for State of Real Estate. So you just got your real estate license. How can you jumpstart your real estate business? The number one thing you should do before you do anything else is post-licensing. Now look, this is already a requirement, so you're gonna have to do it anyways, but here's why you wanna do it early. The sooner you do post-licensing, the sooner you're gonna learn the real-world concepts in post-licensing that will help you create a business plan, that'll help you plan for your success in real estate. Post-licensing is all about real-world topics that are usable, that'll help you grow your real estate business. And at Tampa School of Real Estate, we have the best post-licensing courses around. Find out more about how post-licensing can help you jumpstart your real estate career. Go to postflorida.com. Have you been thinking about getting your Florida real estate license? Look, the process is probably easier than you think. We break it down step by step, how much it's going to cost, what it is that you need to do to get your Florida real estate license. Find out all of that and more at licensefl.com. Again, that's licensefl.com.